that Cristiano is going to score, Cristiano Ronaldo. So 1-0, probably a header or just a shot from outside the area. So a wacky thing would be for, that doesn't go with the results, but if Pepe scores without being a header, something like that, if Pep scores from a shot outside the area, a bit like Company did for City in that game, something like that, that would be wacky, that would be complete. I never saw Pep scoring from outside the box. At this point, Roberto Martinez, he knows that the Euro, that's a joke now. Someone needs to tell them that the Euro has started already. It's not still the qualifying games. The competition has started, and I hope he realizes now and plays the players in their position. It's the best 11 that we can play, and someone tells him that these are the knockout stages. No time to change, no time to experiment, no time to, should I play this guy here, should I play that? Just put the best 11 that everyone wants you to play. Just do it, and just do the subs when you feel like. Don't wait too long to do the subs. It's a knockout game. It's not time to experiment anymore. You just gotta be much more decisive, much more quicker in passing, much more. This is the goal. If we don't score, we're out.
So for all three group games, we saw Slovenia pick the same starting 11. And there's no reason to think they're going to dispense with a successful formula. With 6 days between their final group game and the round of 16 game, there's no real issue with players going to be needing additional rest or anything like that. And with Portugal having rotated aside against Georgia, we're likely to see two very much full strength sides going into this particular game. Very few people will probably be expecting Slovenia to do much based on their reputation, but as we saw in March, they are perfectly capable of beating this Portugal side, and I'm expecting them to do so again. I don't think it will be the 2-0. I do think Portugal will be slightly higher strength than they were in that March game, but the experience of that game for Slovenia, the knowledge that essentially they can face anyone and take them on and win, is going to be a real confidence booster going into this. I say I'm expecting it to be 2-1. What we saw in that game, in terms of looking at potential goal scorers, is that Slovenia were very effective in the late runs from midfield and scoring the goals late as well. For that reason, whereas in March it was Elsnik and Necessary scoring goals, I'm looking to the bench on this time to see as to who my goal scorer would be, and I'm looking specifically at Jasmin Kurtic. We've seen him come off the bench, be able to offer some very impressive support for the side through this tournament so far. I think it's his turn to get on the score sheet in the knockout stages.
It is true. Why do people think that Portugal plays better without Ronaldo? I would love to be inside the Portugal changing room to see what is the dynamic in the team, because sometimes I get the impression from the outside that Ronaldo is one end and the rest of the team is in another, and sort of they can't wait for him to retire. Sometimes I get that feeling as a supporter. The way when there's a free kick and he just takes the ball, the way it's a penalty and he just takes, there's no argument. If he's on the pitch, he's going to do it's almost like he decides, and he openly says that I retire when I decide, I stop playing for the national team when I decide. So it's me. And I can understand how, when we're always saying that football, the beauty of it is that it's a team sport, to have someone that uses the word. We always say, in English, you say there's no I in team. And with Ronaldo, I think he just expects everyone to have the same standard that he does, and he struggles to understand that the other players don't have that standard. The whole system for Ronaldo to play as he plays as number 9 is like everything has to be adapted for the way Ronaldo plays these days. If Ronaldo doesn't play, it's almost like the other players feel they have more freedom. They can make more mistakes. They can make more. If I make a mistake, it's okay. So, it's something that I struggle and I debate myself with, but I can fully understand why people think that Portugal would play better with Ronaldo. But the question I ask people is, if you were the manager, would you be brave enough to bench Ronaldo, to sub Ronaldo, unless he has scored already? Would you do that? Would you carry that responsibility on your shoulder that if Portugal doesn't win, like it happened in the World Cup, that he benched Ronaldo because Ramos had scored a hat-trick, and then Portugal was lost, and then can you have that responsibility on your shoulders that if Portugal doesn't win and you bench Ronaldo, and if Ronaldo had played, it's tricky. I would start Ronaldo for sure, better than come on the last 10-15 minutes, but then I would sub him if I had to. But personally, I would start Ronaldo. But it's an emotional answer as well, okay? It's not 100% rational answer.
I was impressed with the tournament. I'm impressed with the tournament, and I think this tournament, this version, is a proof that Euro is tougher than the World Cup. In the Euro, you can find a team, Ukraine, who has 4 points, and he's the fourth in his group, and he's out. If you get 4 points at the World Cup, you're through. I'm impressed with the tournament, but I'm not impressed with the big teams. Many small teams in Europe have developed well in the last 10 years, maybe. That's why we are not seeing any differences between the teams. That's why we're seeing Slovakia. That's why we're seeing Austria. We're seeing Slovenia. We're seeing Denmark. That's why they are here. Georgia were amazing against Portugal. Georgia is maybe, I think, ranked 70 in the FIFA ranking. I'm not seeing any stars in this Euro. There's no one player who is a star. There is one team who is a star, which is Spain. But if I'm gonna be fair, I think one of the best players in the first round was Sabitzer, the Austrian player. Also, Lamine Yamal, Arda Güler. These were the revelations. These were the good players. Pedri maybe also.
The Euros are one of the highest level tournaments in world football. So there's no way to skip any match, and it shows from the fan zones. Like in Beirut, we have a fan zone here, and it's full. It's full every night for all the games, especially the late games. So people are enjoying the games, and with a lot of surprises and a lot of goals in this tournament, I think everyone will stick to the television to watch till the end. The games are high level, and the teams are strong. It shows from the group standings, where many national teams like Austria made a big surprise by getting the first place ahead of France and the Netherlands. The top teams, it was obvious that Spain are very strong. They made it with 9 points without conceding any goal. Germany as well. Portugal are not bad. Maybe the last game against Georgia they lost, but you have to figure out that they played with a different system, 3-4-3, and they made a lot of changes. They didn't start with the classic 11. And France as well, maybe they are slow a bit, but I'm sure they can get better. On the other side of the round 16, I can mention Austria, one of the best teams with their incredible system of playing. They are very strong. They are the team to beat in this side, let me say, of the round of 16, where the Netherlands, England, Italy, Switzerland will be their main contenders.
When it comes to Belgium, I think for us to win that tie, I think we need to not underestimate Belgium, obviously, because on paper, they always look very good. I've not been impressed by their performance so far. But remember that Lukaku scored, I think, 3 or 4 goals that were offside, and some of them were very, very tight. So I'll probably go with the defense. Our defense, trying to go all over Lukaku. We need two lads on him the entirety of the game, and make sure he's not going to get the ball. Lukaku will be a key player, but I do still think that it will be a 3-0 with 2 penalties. I think the refereeing during that game will be heated, properly heated, and I think the strikers will also try to obtain some cheeky penalties here and there. And I see Mbappe scoring again a penalty, because for some reason with France these days is not able to score anything else than a penalty. So Mbappe scoring a penalty. I see Barcola scoring as well, and a little cheeky a cheeky, if you know what, if Griezmann comes on, a cheeky free kick from Griezmann as well. So it will be 3-0, 2 penalties for France awarded. So 2 penalties awarded is actually quite a big thing, especially during a tie like this. So yeah, 2 penalties for France.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is that we qualified, but the second, it's a bit of a disaster that we have, that we're faced the toughest team, since a few years. We had some bad luck against them at the World Cup in Russia, then the Nations League. So we can't say, we're jumping of joy that we play against them. So we're very tough, but also France isn't doing really well at the moment, so there will be chances. My prediction for the game will be a 1-0 victory for France. It will be a tough, and I expect a lot of yellow cards, because it will be a game against with a high intensity. So nothing compared to the Ukraine game for Belgium. So a lot of, I think more than 7 yellow cards will be expected for me, because France is a bit of the new enemy. In the past it was the Netherlands, but now with France we have we still have some revenge, of course, for the last 2 losses, and it was from another generation, to be honest, but and also with the fans, but the revenge is still open, and let's hope. But like we all know, France's high quality was one of the favorites, maybe the big favorite to win the tournament. So let's hope we can surprise.
England deserves to win the Euros. 100% agree. You know, I'm a bit of a romantic when it comes to football. This league and these players we've seen have given us so much joy when we watch them week in, week out, and this whole thing of it's coming home. It needs to come home now. I think it's coming home, and they'll win it in Germany.
I think the English squad is very, very good, but I think they are better than they are. And I watched the England game against Iceland. And of course, England has a lot of ball and they play a lot, but they are struggling a little bit. They are creative, but I think they have a bad defensive line. So I think that it could turn out to be tough for England.
Hard to disagree from me. We could have said that about Belgium in Euro 2020. We could have said it about Spain in their pomp, Germany. All the recent eras we've had of nations that have put together 5 or 6 years of exceptional tournament performances on the run. The problem is, for England, that comes to an end at some point. And as we saw with Belgium in Qatar, as we saw with Germany in Qatar as well, when those eras come to an end, when you start to try and transition to a new one, the football gods tend to do so in an absolutely merciless way. I think the Euros format itself is naturally biased towards ensuring that the big sides get through the group stages. England could be the team who are suffering the real ruthless end of an era this time around. I think they're in the second rank of favourites for the tournament itself, behind France, Spain, and probably Germany as well.
Agree. They deserve. They have one of the best squads in the tournament, with some different choices or different options, different selections from Southgate. I think Southgate is very conservative. You have to take risks with the squad you have. Southgate is taking Deschamps as an idol, as an example. If you want to win titles, you cannot be that conservative. The team is very boring. They're not conceding goals. Of course, they're not gonna concede goals. All the playing is focused on in the midfield. Did you watch the last game of England? Oh my God! I wish, please let it finish as soon as possible.
I would enjoy any time seeing England playing with the stars they have now. Jude Bellingham, Bukayo Saka, Phil Foden, Harry Kane, Cole Palmer, amazing and spectacular players. But for me, the only problem of England is they need another way of management. I don't think Gareth Southgate is the man to lead England for trophies. He got his chance. He got a lot of time to build a squad, to build a strong team, but he couldn't win any silverware till now. So England will be a contender, but it will be tough for them.